Now, the logjam over health care is one reason some Republican lawmakers want to keep working without a summer break. Not everybody thinks that's a good idea. Members have fewer than 15 legislative days left on this summer schedule. They're supposed to leave for Washington for the whole month of August, even though they haven't passed any of the big pieces of legislation on the GOP agenda. Nancy Cordes is on Capitol Hill with a new push to change the congressional calendar. Nancy, good morning.
Good morning. You know, this tradition of an August congressional recess dates back to a time before air conditioning, when members of Congress had to get out of town because it was just too painful here in the nation's capital. But now some Republicans are starting to worry about the heat they'll get back home if they leave for the entire month of August without fulfilling some major promises.
We should be locked on the House floor until we get some things done.
Calls for a big congressional scheduling change are getting louder.
I'm ready to work through August.
We cannot be taking a vacation or a break in August if we haven't done the people's work.
I can tell you what, if you did a vote out there in the real world, they would vote for us to stay here and get their work done.
Georgia Senator David Perdue is one of many Republicans pushing to do away with the annual 5-week break. In a letter to Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, Perdue and 9 colleagues point out there are only 31 working days until the end of the fiscal year. In that time, Republicans want to pass a health care bill, tackle tax reform, plus Congress needs to fund the government and raise the debt limit.
The gridlock up here is not understood by people back home, nor is it going to be tolerated.
Maine Republican Susan Collins has served in Congress for more than 2 decades. Why does Congress go home so often and for such a long period of time?
We learn so much when we do go home. It gives us the chance to spend extended periods of time with our constituents.
Congress is actually on track to spend more days in session this year than the 20-year average, as Republican leaders try to make the most of their control of Congress and the White House.
Look, if time were the only consideration, absolutely staying through August would make sense.
Congressional scholar Norm Ornstein says so far Republicans don't have much to show for the extra workdays.
They don't have a consensus of the votes, and they refuse to try and broaden that base to find consensus by bringing in Democrats.
If Republicans want to stick around, they're going to need Democratic support because big changes to the congressional calendar require approval from leadership of both sides. And Nora, Democrats probably aren't eager to give Republicans more time to try to enact their agenda.
It's going to be an interesting week there, Nancy.